video, I'm going to be taking off this John Deere 448 backhoe. This is the model that was available with the John Deere 4X20 series from 2004 to, I believe, somewhere in the late 2000s, probably 08, 09, maybe 10, before they switched to a different backhoe model number, which I think that one's revised with better cylinders, probably a more adequate design for these tractors, and so on and so forth. They basically gave them another model number, probably just improved little stuff. But at any rate, that's what this is. Now I want to get to detaching it. So the first thing I do is I go and locate some blocks, because if you're going to set it on the ground, that heavy thing is going to sink right into the ground. And especially since it doesn't have a very big contact point, you definitely want some of these underneath it. So I'm going to get to placing those. Okay, so my blocks are placed under the main frame on the backhoe. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put my outriggers level with the ground. And by level, I don't mean the cylinder, I mean the actual support arm. I want that level with the ground. Self in any way possible. Just a smidge higher and that'll be it. Okay, there you go. Do the same for the other side. And the reason why I'm doing this is because I don't want the backhoe tipping over side to side. So these will be there just in case it does tilt a little bit. Okay, that needs to come back down a little. There we go. Those are done. Then get up on the backhoe. Fold down your seat, of course. And then unlock the backhoe if it has a lock on it. I'm gonna push my arm out, uncurl my bucket so that it is roughly level with the ground. I guess I'll give it a few packs because there's a bit of rough dirt over there. I don't know, right about there. Actually, I'll pick it up a little further to give it some room for the 3-point arms. Because that is higher off the ground than the backhoe itself is. And then we're going to go from there. So something I have to do on our backhoe versus anybody else's, if you can tell, that seat's been bashed in, and this thing's basically had a rough life. Why? Well, safe to say, a barn fell on top of it, so I'm gonna guess the frame got tweaked during that time frame that it was in the tornado, and my pins are not technically even now, as well as the 3-point support arms. These guys right here, I think these are a tad bit bent, so both sides are a little awkward. So in my case, I'm gonna have to use the outriggers to put down force on the ground, pick the backhoe up so I can wiggle those pins out over there on both sides, because those 2 pins and the 3-point are the only things that hold this thing on. And of course, both of them are kind of cockeyed, so this is going to be fun. So I'm just going to go ahead and touch the ground with each of these. And I'm going to go ahead and take them pins out. Yours should have this cable attached to them, but once again, ours fell off. All it is just a quick snap pin back there on the back side, and then these just slide right out. So go ahead and do that next, and I'll come back to you. Okay, so the backhoe now has a little bit of sag in it. That's because I have taken out these 2 main pins over here, and in my case, I had to do a little bit of finagling with all the extremities, so I had to support the back of the backhoe with the boom here, and then the rest of it I had to do with the side riggers to pick up the side for the respective pin. Slide out easy. You might have to do the same. If not, then what you should be able to do is just put a little down pressure up there on the back there, just be able to slide those pins out. So then once you got the pins out, recenter everything like I said before, level those out, estimate basically how far that backhoe is going to drop once the 3-point goes down. Get your boom all set up back here, and the stick and back bucket. It's a bucket now. Because the next thing we're going to do is we're going to disconnect the main power to the hydraulics from the tractor, and we're now going to have them go back to the 3-point. All this backhoe setup is for main hydraulics is this is your power beyond right here, your main supply. This is the pressure in. This is your 3-point pressure for the inlet there. And then the return line is on the same hose. This is the return line on the bottom for the 3-point. That stays together. All you have to do is swap these two, this one into there, and just drop this onto the backhoe somewhere. And then down there is a 90-degree elbow with a quick coupler. Same thing as up here, which is your return line for your power beyond. If you have dust caps, put those in. That'll save you a lot of trouble, trust me. I try to leave them dangling down towards the ground so the water runs off of them and it doesn't sit in the coupling or anything like that. So I'm going to go ahead and swap these hoses. These may be a pain in the ass. Yeah, if all the arms are up in the air, quote arms, I'm just going to call them that for now. If everything's up in the air, it may be a bit of a struggle to switch hoses because there's pressure on the lines. So you either have to do it very quickly and you have to be very strong, or you may have to actually relax everything, which is something you shouldn't have to do, but you never know. Especially on a closed center hydraulic system like this. So anyways, I'm going to swap them hoses and I'll get back to you. Okay, so I have the return line pulled off here. That is a coupler that slides towards the back. I was pushing it forward for a little bit. Don't be like me. That slides back. It comes right off. And then this one up here came off actually with some light ease actually. So all you have to do is push that quick coupler back. This sleeve right here, that just has to go back towards the tractor. All you gotta do is pull that out and put this return hose right here back in. Hopefully I put it in all the way. If you start your tractor and it acts like there's something loading down the engine, you'll know that this is not pushed in all the way. So it's just lowering the 3-point arms and the backhoe's off. I would not recommend standing in front of the tractor like I am. Oh, I thought it lugged down. Yep, I thought it lugged down, but it was just filling that hose up. Okay, so get it set down on the ground where you want it, which is right there for me. And next, I'm gonna hop up on the tractor and I'm gonna pull forward with it. Pick up the bucket. You may have to push down on the lift arms on the 3-point. In my case, I don't have to. I kind of thought I would though, because this fluid's frozen almost. I will pull forward and then put those down, however. And push that all the way down. Okay, so those are all the way down. And of course, I guess it leaning back's a little bit okay because it gives you some wiggle room to come up and pick it up. But a good idea would be to put a block underneath that pivot point right there for the main boom, so it doesn't roll back any further, which I think I have enough blocks for that. I think those are chocks for the trailers though, so, oh, well, there we go. But basically saying, chalk everything so it doesn't move. It'll make it so much easier for you next time. This is where the pins go in. This is where the 3-point mounts, and that's it. It's really simple. And here comes the tedious task of putting on the 3-point arms, which is not fun. Okay, guys, stuff's on. 3 points back on. We are missing a couple proper pins, but of course this thing's going on like 15 plus years old, so yeah, not surprised stuff's missing. But at any rate, I've got the 3-point on and the blade's ready to go for snow, so we're good to go. Thanks for watching. See y'all later.